Germany, a land of both beauty and turmoil, has a history marked by periods of confinement. From the medieval dungeons to the more modern penitentiaries, the landscape is dotted with places that have held individuals against their will. In times of conflict and unrest, prisons became a stark reality for many. These structures, often imposing and foreboding, stood as symbols of authority and control. These institutions, often shrouded in secrecy, held a diverse population of individuals accused of crimes or deemed a threat to the established order. The reasons for their confinement were as varied as the individuals themselves. The walls of these prisons bore witness to the human stories of despair, resilience, and the struggle for survival. Each prisoner had a unique story, a personal battle against the harsh realities of their environment. Within these walls, the lives of prisoners were governed by strict rules and routines. Every day was a test of endurance, a challenge to maintain one's humanity in the face of dehumanizing conditions. The clang of iron gates and the watchful eyes of guards served as constant reminders of their confinement. The ever-present surveillance created an atmosphere of tension and unease. The conditions within these prisons varied depending on the time period and the nature of the offences committed. Some facilities were notorious for their brutality, while others offered a semblance of rehabilitation. However, the common thread that ran through these experiences was the deprivation of freedom and the challenges of navigating life behind bars. The struggle to retain a sense of self and hope in such an environment was a universal experience for all prisoners. The treatment of prisoners in German prisons varied significantly throughout history. In some cases, prisoners endured harsh and inhumane conditions. Overcrowding, inadequate sanitation, and the lack of proper medical care were common problems. Physical abuse and torture were also used as forms of punishment or to extract confessions. However, there were also instances where attempts were made to implement more humane treatment. Prison reformers advocated for better living conditions, education programs, and opportunities for rehabilitation. These efforts aimed to acknowledge the basic dignity of prisoners and to provide them with a chance for redemption. The population of German prisons was as diverse as the society from which they came. Political prisoners accused of sedition or treason often found themselves incarcerated alongside common criminals. Religious minorities persecuted for their beliefs were also imprisoned. During times of war, prisoners of war from enemy nations swelled the ranks of those held captive. Among the prisoners were also ordinary citizens who had run afoul of the law. Thieves, murderers, and other criminals were all subject to the justice system of their time. The reasons for their imprisonment were as varied as their backgrounds, each prisoner carrying their own story and circumstances. Section 4. A time of hardship life in Germany during the time of confinement. To understand the lives of those imprisoned in Germany, it is essential to consider the broader context of the time. The social and political climate played a significant role in shaping their experiences. Germany, throughout its history, has experienced periods of political upheaval, economic hardship, and social change. These turbulent times left a lasting impact on the nation's social fabric. These factors inevitably influenced the conditions within prisons and the treatment of those confined. The prison environment was a reflection of the broader societal struggles. During times of war or economic depression, resources were scarce and the general population faced considerable hardships. This scarcity extended to the prison system as well. Prisons, often already operating with limited resources, felt the strain of these external pressures. Overcrowding and lack of supplies became common issues. The availability of food, clothing, and medical care could be severely restricted, impacting both prisoners and guards alike. This led to a challenging and often harsh environment for everyone involved. Section 5. Reflections on confinement. The impact of prisons. The history of German prisons serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of human rights and dignity. Over the centuries, these institutions have evolved, reflecting the changing attitudes towards punishment and rehabilitation. The stories of those who endured confinement, whether justly or unjustly, provide valuable insights into the human capacity for both resilience and despair. These narratives reveal the strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity and the profound impact of isolation. They also highlight the societal and historical forces that shape the treatment of the incarcerated. From reform movements to shifts in public opinion, these forces have played a crucial role in shaping prison policies and practices. As we reflect on the past, it is crucial to learn from the mistakes and injustices of previous generations. By understanding these errors, we can work towards creating a more just and equitable system for the future. The treatment of prisoners should always be guided by principles of humanity, fairness, and the rule of law. This ensures that the rights of all individuals are respected, regardless of their circumstances. By ensuring that even those who have committed crimes are treated with dignity and respect, we uphold the values of a just and compassionate society. This approach not only benefits the incarcerated, but also strengthens the moral fabric of our communities.